On our side, we went down the right. As you said, there's no two ways about it. The plan was to get the ball to Mo Salah as often as possible. And by the way, you're right. It wasn't even a half chance, that goal. He is just the difference. We needed our elite players to be the difference, and he was it. What do the stats say for Mo Salah?
I'm just highlighting there his goal, because sometimes it's difficult when you're watching it in the game to sort of really appreciate where he took the shot from, right? If you look at that angle there, incredible. So the size of the dot on these plots is the XG of that chance. So that is a 5% chance he took on, right? He then ended up with a post shot of 0.72. So he added over 60% to that, or more than that, but 60 percentage points to that chance. It was just an absolutely phenomenal effort. I mean, the penalty's penalty, but I mean, just saying that's just unbelievable. I mean, and there is another angle. That's the Kluivert miss, which is a 0.48 chance, a big chance, and obviously he did get on target, so it didn't go. But so that just gives you an idea. It's that far out on that angle, and he puts it in that corner. It was absolutely just out of this world. A bit like he used to do. Do you remember the Everton game in the snow at Anfield, where he picks it up and just bends it in the far corner? It reminded me a lot of that. That was a great goal. But yeah, just to pick out his stats, I will go back though. Their centre half, I have to say, I know it's not TMM, but if someone's not looking in for the summer, I would be disappointed. That's an 80% pass rate for, is it Hussein? 10 long balls, which were successful. Receiving at 70%. You know, there's some good stats there. And Kirkaz, again, was involved in 8% of their threat conversion. Threat creation, is the same as the centre half at Hussein. So both very good performers down that side. But to answer your original question, Mo Salah. So Mo Salah had 7.4% of our on-ball time. He had 9% of our possession, which isn't a lot, to be honest with you. But he had 0.88 XG. Most of that's the penalty. 2 goals. A threat of 0.32, which is, let's have a quick scan out, probably second highest in the team. 81% pass rate, which we know for his position is often lower. So that's really good for him. He was looking after the ball, wasn't losing it, because he was aware that the counter down that left side was extremely dangerous. So he's looking after it. And 94% receiving, so again, got it in, looked after it, and then only gave it away another 20% on top of that. And he created third highest EPV. Robbo won the EPV, but that's because of the clip ball in for the penalty. So he clips it into Cody. So Robbo got most of his threat from that. Robbo didn't have a bad game. Please don't say that, but I'm just saying that's just to explain. That's a through ball over the top. So got that. And Dom, as I said, he was firing it in. So the progressive passes were high for Dom, and he was becoming pretty good. So I think Mo, 10 progressive passes for Mo when he's also playing. Like, you got to remember, Mo normally receives a progressive pass, not makes them. So for 10 progressive passes, it's just ridiculous, to be honest with you. I think penalties, I love the next one. He's got touches, but penalty box touches for him is 11, which is just is really good for him. What he does with it. His dual rate was 45% as well, which is really high for a forward. It carries 43%, so that showed you he was passing and carrying the ball. So he was doing both sides. A number of times we've seen on TMM when we come back to it is that a player generally does one or the other, right? Mo's doing both in this game to great effect. So I don't really have an argument this week for him not to be man of the match. I mean, just look at the metrics I pick out. He's above the metrics in all of them, bar the aerials, which, to be fair to the lad, he's not going to win many aerials, is he? So, 6 out of 7 metrics, he outperformed the players in his own position. So that was brilliant. Just because I know people were talking about it, Semedo also performed quite well for them, outperforming, he got the most shots for them. He actually does well for aerials because he's a tall lad and physically good, and then he outperformed on some of the other metrics as well. So not too dissimilar profile, but Mo just takes it up another level, if you know what I mean. So the shape is similar, but Mo takes up. But yeah, Mo Salah, I mean, normally we try and pick out somebody else, right? But I mean, Canate had a good game, obviously. Trent generally had a good game, had a fairly okay game before he got injured. And Dom, that's a pretty decent whack and wheel. And a shout out CJ's cameo coming off the bench. Incredibly useful. So one of CJ's biggest attributes, and Si will talk about it under the pressure about possession control. So it's how much you lose in, regain, and keep it. So CJ has a very good positive, normally, possession control. And he came on. And when you're 2-0 up, or you're nearly 2-0 up, you're winning the game, you want a player to maintain possession. You want a player to do Ginny. Ginny. So that's what. So rather than Mac, who's struggling physically, they just brought a player on who's not going to lose the ball. And CJ didn't. He just kept the ball. I mean, the only time he gave it away was when the ref mugged him off for that drop ball thing at the end, but they went up shot, didn't they? So, but generally speaking, I thought CJ was instrumental in calming things down for that last period of the game. It was a really good, after a couple of dodgy performances from him. I thought it was good to see him come back.
It's crazy, isn't it, that we have got so many good performances. And it is right. And it's good to call out CJ as well. It's good to call out, as we say, we mentioned Grav before, Szoboszlai, but Mo Salah is just a different level and shows why. It's a toss-up between him and Virgil van Dijk for Player of the Year. But this lad I want to speak about, Barts, we don't talk about goalkeepers too often, and it's been a slower integration, shall we say, for Alisson, that, I don't know, maybe he's been enjoying his barbecue a bit. It's just taken him a bit of time to get up to full speed, possibly. But in this one, the save from Semenyo one-on-one, and if anything, the nearly own goal from Connor Bradley, it just felt like elite Alisson was back. Did the stats show any element of that at all?
Yeah, so with a goalkeeper, one of the reasons we don't really do goalkeepers in terms of stats for transfers is there's not a lot out there, to be honest with you. It's really hard. But one of the key metrics we look at is post-shot. So as much as that for a forward is showing how much they put onto a chance, that's equally how much a keeper then saves it, right? So if it's a straight at you chance, then they're expected to save it post-shot. But if it's a really high post-shot, then they're equally, that's a really good save to put it off, right? So if we took that Semenyo one, so that's a 0.4 post shot. So Semenyo actually made that chance worse. It was a 0.52 and he brought it down to 0.4. So that was saved. If you look at the chance at the near post, which is the one, it's the deflected one around, it's around here somewhere. But yeah, so it would have flicked in. So that would have been a really low chance because it's the angle and everything. But it went up to nearly a 0.3 post shot and Ali saves that. So Ali's saved, and then there's another couple, I think, where Ali pulls off some saves. But to again, if you look at the post shot that Ali is saving on these chances, they're incredibly high. If we look at, so their post shot is 0.78. So they decrease the chances, but he's saving those opportunities. And he saved 3 big chances, which is basically saying that he saves, I think Opta define it as 0.25 or 0.2. So for a keeper to save 3 big chances in a single game, plus making a few other key saves from a rebound and the rest of it, is really impressive. And I think, his distribution was back to being his best. Quirky stat I called out actually last night was Ali actually won another aerial. So it's the second time he's won a duel in back-to-back games at 100% rate. So that's where he's contesting for a throw-in. But I think Kevin's right in the chat that he has come back to be, this is his best in the world form. This is not, I'm just better than Kev, which is what he had been. This is now, I'm the world's best. I thought he was remarkably good return. I mean, on the ball, just have a quick look at Ali. 79% pass rate, which is fine. Long ball, final third. No, he's not going to make any in there. But 33 passes attempted, so pretty good. Long balls, there you go, 19 passes. So it's a good, I would say, a very good performance from Ali. And we needed it, to be fair. now is the running. We need Ali to be in that form and not the form, should we say, against United or other games around that period of time.
It's true, isn't it? It just maybe, and we shouldn't speak too quickly and touch wood as I'm saying this. This just felt like a game, as you mentioned, the biggest takeaway across the board. It's fair to say, isn't it, Bart? Elite players played elite football when we needed them to against a very, very good Bournemouth team. And if elite players, like we mentioned, keep playing this, we will win a lot of football games. That's fair to say, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. As I said, if everybody else gives you a 6 or a 7, but your elite 3, which at the moment are Ali, BVD, Mo, give you an 8 or even a 9 or a 10, you will win more games than you will lose. And that's why we will. People talk about we've got 8% chance to win the league, and that's because if those 3 do that, I do not see us. This is famous last words, touch wood, losing 3 games, which would be what it would be for us not to win the league, and that's sort of in a nutshell, really. BBD is back to being imperious. Ali's back now, returning back to that form. The last 2 games has been superb. And Mo's come out of his little rut, which he, by the way, still scored in a rut. But yeah, it's just one of them. So I think you're right. Elite players, end of the day, make a difference. A couple of sensible Arsenal fans said to me that Mo's the difference maker. Literally, there's not a lot of difference between the sides in some elements, but when push comes to shove, we've got a guy who'll just ping one in from a 0.5 chance of winning and secure the game, and Arsenal have got that.
Yeah, it really just is the difference. And touch wood, fingers crossed, these elite players stay fit and keep doing it. But so much to like from both.